recently came across a YouTuber under the name Way of the World. He seemed to be quite well known, but I'd never seen his videos before. I watched a video of his from about a month ago about the BBC show Noughts and Crosses, and judging by his description, it's about what you would expect from the BBC. A subversive societal attack piece where the aim of their criticism is about how we aren't inclusive enough, or how we've colonised Britain too much, or something. It's kind of hard to tell what messages the show's trying to tell, as it's very shallow. A safe presumption for the BBC whenever you watch a show like this, something which they would expect their audience to take as a given, would be that someone like Enoch Powell was of course wrong and evil, as an example. Except in this example, a minority group have the whip hand, and they go about proving him right. The bottom line is, the BBC and other mainstream media outlets are so desperate to score some hits that they will stretch reality to its limits to push these messages. This is far from the first example of this. In the last few months alone, we've seen similar media acts given the mainstream treatment, including Riz Ahmed's The Long Goodbye, and a performance by Dave at the Brit Awards. In every one of these instances, you can observe certain people doing the same thing. Of course, in music, as in all art, facetiousness is a part of the game, but the content in this media isn't even remotely close to reality. It's admittedly old data, but the most recent data from the British Crime Survey that I could find states that you're more likely to be wounded as part of a hate crime if you're white. You're going to face discrimination in the form of affirmative action when you go for certain types of employment. And despite white working class boys being the biggest underachievers in our schools, there are no racial scholarships for white students like there is for other certain minority groups. The arguments made in these forms of media don't hold up on any level. And that is in large part why media like this exists. It's a caricature, reverse caricature almost, that some can cling to for strength in the face of wavering arguments. They need this to be real. They don't want to have to let their whole worldview come crashing down. Even as I made this video, a new example of this appeared. This video, currently making the rounds on social media, demonstrates this very same issue. Why would they not include an easy quote or a tag to reinforce the idea that these services are run by people of migrant origins? It's because, as far as I can tell, no such data exists. All public services, as far as I can see, are disproportionately staffed by native British people, and that includes the NHS, which is in of itself disproportionately affected by the burden of minority communities who've succumbed quite badly to the recent virus. I don't consider this a good thing, but some would consider the opposite favourable. All of this being said, I wouldn't despair. The fact that the left and the fake right feels the need to fall back on such romanticisms and myths does to a large extent show that they fear for the integrity of these myths. But we must move away from pure facts and truth and into the realm of forming genuine connections to what we're working towards. Data such as what I've displayed over the course of this video will only get you so far, placing emphasis on what nationalism means and why it's important, why the pursuit of a high-trust homogenous society is preferable. We know why. It seems obvious to us, but people who exist wholly within the Overton window just don't see it. Go to any video of early 20th century London or New York right here on YouTube and read the comments and you'll see what I mean. Many people out there simply do not see how much has been lost. Ultimately, people are emotional animals and will favour emotional connections above all else. After all, that is what we're fighting for, isn't it? I apologise for this video retreading so much ground that's already been covered in nationalist circles, but I really need to get this off my chest, and I need to start somewhere as well. I'll make more videos about more original and important topics related to nationalism, but please drop a comment below with any criticisms or any points you think I missed in this video. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.